Richard Hart, who is widely regarded as one of the most experienced crypto and macro analysts, is going to provide us with a comprehensive overview of his future project, PulseChain. This overview will include topics like as the project's release date, as well as the ways in which it will differentiate itself from similar offerings. In addition, Richard will give us a detailed briefing on PulseX and Bitcoin, discussing issues like the potential growth of both cryptocurrencies and whether or not now is a suitable time to invest in them. Hello and welcome back to Crypto Pulse. In this video, Richard Hart will discuss his thoughts on the cryptocurrency market as a whole and announce when his new project PulseChain will be released. Now, without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video. Richard Hart has discussed the PulseChain's anticipated launch details.
What can I say? Yeah, like a streaming company needs to write a big check to pay them for it, and then they can stream it. But until a streaming company writes a big check, they can't play it, and the world will just not see it. So it's a function of one of the decision makers in content acquisition at one of these large things, like pulling the trigger, basically.
What is Richard Hart's motivation for making everyone buy Hex Dip?
To point this out to people, some guy bought a massive Hex Dip back in 2020. A lot of people did, but this one guy that was murdering the price earlier this week, he bought like a 75 or 85% dip. And then the price went up a lot, and then went down a lot. And now he's selling at only 100x returns before staking. He got paid a lot more. I mean, I think he was staked for big payday, which is a minimum 33% payout extra. So he's making massive, insane gains because he bought a dip. And had he not bought that dip, he wouldn't have had 100x. He might have had a 25x. That's a big difference. So now you have the price down 90, 95%. And people don't see the opportunity. They're just like, oh, it sucks. You're like, does it suck? I see a guy selling at 100x returns right now because he bought a similar dip back then. So you look at a dip now and you don't see the similarity. You know, like I never can predict the hex price. But if you look at the chart, it's by and large up and to the right. And the people that have made the most money in it have sat through the most dips. So imagine the difference in your risk between buying 20 times higher a year ago and buying 20 times less now. It's less risk. Paying less for stuff, and when it's the same stuff, like would you rather buy a car for 1 unit of price or 20 units of price? It's the same car. You're like, I'll take it for 20 times less, please. So by getting things cheaper is less risky than getting the same thing from.
If I couldn't invest in cryptocurrency, Richard Hart says I should put my money into a startup.
Gold.
Startups. It's the second best performing asset class, and I've been doing them my whole life.
Yeah.
So I would just keep making businesses.
And with the proceeds from those businesses, what do you think you would have done?
Make more businesses.
All right.
I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, look what Peter Thiel did, right? Peter Thiel made a business, X.com, which merged with PayPal. And then he invested in Facebook. And then he invested in a startup that basically like was EOS.
Yeah.
And then, of course, EOS dumped in everyone's head about Bitcoin. Lol, their foundation. But he made a killing there. And then he started Palantir. And then he started like a longevity VC. And he had like, just keeps starting things. So, seems fine. Bill Gates keeps starting things. Jeff Bezos keeps starting things. Elon Musk keeps starting things. Richard Hart keeps starting things. We see ways to make the world better. We do it. So I would do
Yeah,
the
very
same.
cool.
I would do the same thing, whether crypto existed or not. There's a million things wrong with the world you can fix, and people will happily pay you. Nope, the tail can't wag the dog. Crypto is too small to move gold. Period. If every single crypto holder dumped their entire load into gold, it wouldn't move it, which is why its gains suck. Because there's not enough money in the world to buy its stupid price up, because it's too heavy. Its market cap is too big to go up.
Oh, I kind of see what you mean. So even if we did all pile in, it wouldn't have moved the
matter.
price because of the size of the market. All right.
Yep.
Good answer.
And by the way, they're mining that stuff all the time. And the more the price goes up, the more they mine. So, when Bitcoin price goes up, they don't mine any extra. They mine very smallly extra because they overrun the retargeting algorithm by like a little tiny bit, but you're still in the single digit inflation, right? You're going to go from like 1.7 to like 1.8% inflation. But with gold, they really do mine more. At some point, they could just grab an asteroid and have it land here, and then you're like, oh, we just 100x the gold supply. So like, if gold was going to be good, it'd be good. It's not good. It's limp. In some countries,
Cool.
not only is it limp, it's actually tax disadvantaged as well. There's a lot of countries where they restrict what kinds of gold you can buy and not pay VAT, and having to pay like 20% extra on your investment up front sucks badly. And then you've got constant overhead costs of storing it, and then you've got constant, someone has to test that it's real instead of gold-plated tungsten, which is nearly identical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 1 ounce bars and thicker bars out there that are just gold-plated tungsten. So like, it's just not good, man.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Warren Buffett has a good take on this. He has a lot of good takes on a lot of stuff. He doesn't have a good take on crypto, but he's got a good take on gold. You dig it out of the ground to bury it back in the ground in a bank vault.
Yeah.
And it produces exactly what? You moved its location in the ground. Congrats. So, farmland is more productive, businesses are more productive.
Yeah.
PulseChain founder Richard Hart claims thousands of coins will be available upon launch, in contrast to the initial supply of 0 for Ethereum and other splits.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is, I'll answer that question for you very specifically. When you make a fork of Ethereum, let's say, what's a good example? You make a fork of Ethereum. Do you have users? Nope. Only if they know your fork exists. Okay. Well, how are they going to know your fork exists? You have to tell them. All right. And what are the useful things on your chain? Well, people have to launch their coins from scratch on your chain because your chain launched empty. So Polygon, BSC, AVAX, Phantom, they all launch empty. And because they launch empty, that means you have to go attract projects to launch their coin on your code base. And so you're starting from scratch. PulseChain is not starting from scratch. PulseChain has everyone's projects already there. Now, if it's fake DeFi and has oracles or other crap that's off chain, that stuff doesn't come over. Or like USDT. Can you redeem them for $1? No. Of course not. So like the difference with PulseChain is it's launching with tens of thousands of coins at launch and tens of thousands of coins trading at launch. And with all those other forks of Ethereum, they all start empty. There's a big difference. You're doing the world's largest airdrop versus no airdrop. This huge, 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 huge difference. And that's the reason why it's harder. What we're doing has never been done before, and it is hard to do. So launching empty forks of Ethereum, way easy to do. launching stateful forks, hard to do.
We will see more of Richard Hart's insights, but if you're getting value, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Richard Hart, a seasoned marketing executive, shares his wisdom here.
I still prefer maximally effective on-ramping. I still don't like ads that don't work. And most ads do not work. I don't think billboards work. I don't think sports advertising works. I don't think race cars work. I think direct mail works. I've never heard anyone complain, you got it. How do you know whether ads work or not? Yep. People tell you. That's how they found you. Or at least they complain and say, oh, I hate this ad. So at least you know a person that has high net worth and is digital, saw it, evaluated it, understands it, or has the opportunity to. And those are things I never saw with any of the other ads. So, I never saw Hexagon say, oh God, I'm so glad I saw that sports ad, or I'm so glad I saw that NASCAR ad, or I'm so glad, I've never heard those words uttered.
Yeah, we don't get the feedback. Right.
Yet, nor do you see spikes in traffic when the things occur. Traffic flat, no difference. No clicky click. So if no one's clicking, how good can the ad be? Not good. So I think direct mail is the best. Now maybe calling works. I don't know. Maybe bigger seminars where you charge people to enter. That seems to work for a lot of stuff. That seems to work for a lot of things. A lot of steak knives, a lot of milkshakes, a lot of real estate, a lot of Amazon drop shipping. A lot of that stuff is, buy my program, here, check this out. It works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I know that, okay, what's the most popular?
These are Richard Hart's most recent thoughts on the Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve has two mandates. It's called dual mandate. One is to keep inflation at 2%. The other is to make sure everyone has jobs. Now, making sure everyone has jobs is a pretty hard one to do because printing or not printing money doesn't actually hire anyone. So that's a weird one. And so right now, they know that the inflation's too high. A couple days ago, they did a survey of all the people that are on the board of deciding whether interest rates are going to go up or not. And they all said, yeah, we're not going to lower rates in 2023. We see the language was along the lines of, we don't see any way that they're going to be lowering rates in 2023. And so as they raise rates, it makes money more expensive, literally. So people with mortgages that have adjustable rates have now 2 or 3x their monthly cost of paying a mortgage, which for you people who aren't in America, mortgage means home loan. People are living day to day. They don't have in their budget or their earning potential an extra 2 or 3x on the largest expense they have, which is their housing. It's basically going to cause a lot of people to get foreclosed on. We also see the steepest decline in home sales, I think, in history in the United States. Home sales are down on average 40%, I believe. Now that's not dollar figure because the dollars are all inflated. That's the number of sales. So the number of sales has fallen 40% this year compared to last year. That's a big fall. So the Fed, in order to fulfill its dual mandate and get inflation down to 2%, is going to have to keep raising rates. And
what are your thoughts on the Richard Hart's views? Tell us in the comments. Remember to always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest crypto news and analysis. You can also follow us on Twitter for faster updates. We'll continue to bring you valuable insights that will help you navigate the ever-changing world of crypto investing.